soon as I jumped in too,
Yeah.
I was like,
well, we did when we got in last time. What's up, Kristen?
What
How
up,
are
Kristen?
you?
hey,
Always
There
good
we
to see
go.
you.
Hey,
Hey,
what up, Marcus?
Marcus.
that's more like it. See,
The people are back.
Yeah.
The show is live. Should I rig 'em and roll it? Yeah, I'll do it real quick. You
Let's
ready to
do
go?
it. Let's do it.
What
Yeah.
do Snackers and Snackers? It's your boy Gage. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly. Sinners in the building. Jokes in the building. This is where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today, I like the quick rigmarole. Today, Happy Pride Month. Today, Happy Men's Health Awareness Month. Today, Happy Migraine and Headache Month. Straight up. All of the above. Real talk. We got things to talk about. Good to see you, Marcus. Marcus, you would think I yelled.
He ready. Right. He ready.
You know what I mean? You would think I did that. What's up, Alfonso? Yeah, we don't know exactly what happened, but there were some technical difficulties that we stopped letting them be difficult, and now we're good.
We're back. Yeah, we're back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Listen, we do have things to discuss. We're a little bit late, but we're just gonna let it rock because that's what we do. It's not our fault this time. It's not our fault this time. It's technology's fault this time. So yeah, we have some things we need to discuss. Starting with this rigmarole about you're not early. You're not early, Doctor Who.
tried it.
Thanks, Henry. Appreciate that quick bitch. Listen, I don't think this was a Wayne Tech thing. I don't think this had anything to do with Wayne Tech.
Wayne Tech is usually focused on your end.
Yeah, I think whatever it is, whatever they're running from or trying to capture or steal or whatever in Fast and the Furious, I think that's what caused the issue. They was a little upset. He spent the first 5 minutes just too much Fast and the Furious. They was like, nope, not on Facebook.
No, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound too accurate.
Couple conversations too much. That's in there.
That's fair, Doctor Who. For you, you are early. That's true. That I'll take. So look, earlier today, words started popping off. Okay, one of the execs at Sony started saying there is a plan in place to connect the Spider-Man universe and the MCU universe. Now, here's where I want to start. Check this out. My man said, we don't really think of our 900 characters as the Spider-Verse, he says. Let's stop right there. 900 characters?
That's what he said.
Hey, we must be talking about all the employees at the Daily Bugle, all the employees
right.
at university. I don't know.
The guy who delivers pizza,
pizza delivery guy.
Bruh, that's a lot. Okay. We don't really think of our 900 characters as the Spider-Verse, he says. We have a Marvel universe. Now, look, with 900 characters. No. I mean, that's kind of a Marvel. 900 characters is,
But if they all come from the Spider-Man franchise, then
I mean, listen.
No, that's every bystander, everyone that's gotten in the way of something. I don't know.
Facts.
Hydro Man clones.
The volume of characters we have, wait until you see this next Venom. You don't miss Spider-Man. He pauses. It'll be exciting if they meet, right? Okay. Hold on a second. Don't you ever disrespect my man like that, dog. Don't you ever disrespect my man. What you mean you don't miss Spider? You always miss Spider-Man. I don't care if it's an X-Men film. I don't care what you always miss Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? My man should be there. He's the key, apparently. Apparently, Slim is the key. And I'm going to tell you why. Because that was followed up with, there actually is a plan, he says. This comes from Variety, so y'all know.
Okay.
I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed. And I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed. Okay, listen. This is what I need to know. How do y'all want this to actually happen? Yeah, man, listen. Listen. First of all, Marcus, there's no you in my name. Look, it's on the screen.
You can read it. You can read it sitting right there.
You see that? It's on the screen, bro. It's on the screen. Second of all, I'm always in my Spidey feelings. That never goes away. I'm always in my Spidey feelings. How do you all want this to happen? Do y'all want this to happen?
To get Venom in the universe, like I want Venom somehow squaring off with Spider-Man, somewhere of it happening. But clearly, this is not the Eddie Brock that we know of, like the comics or whatnot ever. So I think the two of them would make an interesting combination if they try to make like this buddy cop thing between Spider-Man and Venom. I don't know if I really want that.
That's a no, bro. Get out of here. So listen, we not buddy copping Venom and Spider-Man, though. Get out of here.
That's why I just said I don't want that. But
yeah, I can't.
I want this. I need that symbiote to come back. Now, maybe he's just the key to show that, you know, there's other universes that have other Venoms, and maybe we get this other Eddie Brock with this other Venom that shows up within the universe. I don't know, but right now, that's what I'm starting to see is like they're going to try to do some type of buddy thing between Venom and Spider-Man.
I look. There's something that with me that yes, I would like to see all of Marvel stuff like contained in one universe and not having them be separate. But their caliber of films.
You can send me the timeout when I can turn my own timeout off.
Hey, dog, walking out of the corner after we send you the timeout doesn't mean you weren't there in the first place, okay?
Facts. But like their caliber of movies like doesn't match up to like what the MCU's doing. So it just doesn't feel right, even though, yes, in a perfect world, I would love to see them all multiverse in the same room, people can meet and all that kind of stuff. But then when I picture like Tom Holland meeting, you know, their Venom, like it just doesn't seem like it would mesh well right now. I don't know. Like I'm not.
The only story I could think of is that since Eddie kind of is still doing the news reporter thing, maybe we'll see Peter, you know, after this. Obviously, I don't see my man getting a job in this movie, but I don't know, somehow Pete eventually gets a job, you know, at the Daily Bugle, and then, you know, Eddie comes in, and, you know, we started to see like some of those origin versions of everything. So, but I mean, Venom's here, he's established, so I don't know.
I mean, Brooks says I don't want them to mix the two Spider-Man and Venom at all. They already started Venom off wrong, so leave them wrong and don't mess with Spidey. It's a good thing. I dig that. Cuddy says MCU needs to lead this dance like with Homecoming or it won't work. Don't trust Sony to run. Hey, listen, don't trust them to run point. I agree.
Yep, I agree.
I agree. Here's the thing. Are we? I have to assume that the Sony led Spider-Man stuff is technically is a different universe. That from a multiverse standpoint, like whatever's happening there isn't something like what you see in the Venom movies, what you'll see in Morbius and so forth. Like those things are things that are happening in a separate,
right,
non-MCU universe within the MCU multiverse, if that makes sense. So can I see some crossovers? Sure. I don't really want it. Tom Holland Spidey is still in high school though, not even a senior boy, needs to be studying the show's genius. Here's the thing. He should be a senior in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was a sophomore in the first movie. So junior in the last movie, he should be a senior. So he should be getting ready to come out of high school, moving into college, getting a job, you know.
Right.
That kind of should be happening. Heather. What's up, Heather? Sony must think we don't see what they did with the Marvel license. Here's the thing. I think Sony sees it. I think more importantly, Sony is seeing a lot of money from it. The downside of the fact that Sony has these licenses is that Marvel and Disney can't really do anything to get them back. As long as Sony continues to produce product using the license that they have, they're allowed to keep it. And there really isn't anything that Disney can do about it. So for all intents and purposes, Sony can do whatever they want with it. Makes me want to throw up, but that's really what the fact is.
Right.
And the other side of that is that what they're doing with it, like no matter how you feel about Venom, that joint made a ridiculous amount of money. It did phenomenally well on a global scale. So as ugly as that joint is, as bad as the CG is by comparison, as much as it doesn't hold up, you know what I mean, by comparison, budget-wise, it's easy to look at and assume that Disney's got more money to throw around when it comes to budgeting these films to make them happen. Because of what they look like at the end, that there's no reason for Sony to stop doing what they're doing. I think, if anything, what Sony has maybe learned is that by aligning themselves with the success that is the MCU, they stand to make more money than they ever had with the already successful films that they have. It's much easier that way. If they can say, even if this takes place in a different pocket universe within the MCU universe, technically it means that anything they do can in some way affect what's happening in the mainline MCU, meaning that there are just way more people who are likely to go and watch those movies because of that topic. Period. That's the part I don't like. And I feel like some of what's happening is Sony trying to strong arm Disney by basically saying like, oh yeah, no, there's a thing that's connected. If you remember, there was a few years back when Feige was sitting in an interview, and I can't remember the lady's name, but she was like one of the execs or whatever on the Sony side of things, and she made mention that like it was all interconnected, and the look on Feige's face was like, who told you that? Like,
that ain't a thing. No one told me that. And Feige, I trust my own self, and I didn't hear that.
Regardless, it's a strong arm tactic, right? It's just a way that you're able to play dirty because technically you have ownership over the licenses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. So if Fox didn't have a choice, you know what I mean, in the long run, they got bought out. They weren't playing ball, and we'll see what they do. Right now, my level of trust for Feige and the MCU and Disney and what they can do will be tested at its highest limit when I see how they treat the Fantastic Four. That's gonna be the thing for me. If they bring mutants in, it'll be how they do that and how different that is or looks or whatever they do that, if that happens to happen prior to Fantastic Four. Right.
Also, now, I would say also how they plan on combining the universes. Like,
correct.
How interconnected will they actually be? Will they do the Arrowverse kind of thing where you see the two Flashes meet up, have a conversation, and then go their separate way? Like, okay, they exist, but they're staying separate. You know what I mean? Like, we know, or is it going to be like actually infiltration of like, Venom ended up showing up in somebody else's movie or something like that?
I mean, again, right now, all of what they're talking about with No Way Home, it sounds like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire probably going to be in this film along with Tom. We already know Alfred Molina is reprising his role as Doc Ock. We know that for whatever reason, they see Jamie Foxx be in this joint. The rumors are swirling that Willem Dafoe might actually be the biggest big bad in this joint and might be the Green Goblin. How that affects, I mean, look, Morbius is still coming. That joint is scheduled for January, like 21st of 2022. That is literally right after No Way Home, because that joint's at the end of December. So we'll have to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Morbius coming and them deciding that Quicksilver is Craven. All right, is that what we doing now?
That's what we doing.
Okay. We know they want to do a Sinister Six film. Sony has plans, man. Like, they're not stopping. Right now, I guarantee you, if you could talk to the right person there, they can show you a lineup that looks exactly like what Disney showed us.
Like Marvel,
5, you know what I mean? Like, they got a lineup. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll have to see how it pans out. I'm not super hot on this. I do have one other question though. Do you think Tom Holland renews his contract? He has this Spider-Man movie and one more ensemble movie left. Does he renew his contract?
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think he will. I mean,
granted, between Sony, Disney, the movies they're trying to do, and just the possibilities, I wouldn't be surprised if he did re-up for some more of them.
Yeah, I absolutely see. Because definitely where he's at right now, he's going to grow into the Peter Parker and Spider-Man character. And it's like we can see that evolution that necessarily we didn't get with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I mean, Tobey Maguire kind of came in as more of a older teen going into college. That's kind of like right off the break from it. But we've been able to see Tom Holland go from, the early years being in high school up till now. So there's so much room to play with. And especially when he becomes an adult, if they ever actually introduce a Mary Jane Watson into the mix or something like that, which I don't think they'll do at this point, but definitely,
right? Because MJ could just be a completely different universe.
Exactly.
Right? Like Tom Holland could technically see Kirsten Dunst in this movie and just fall in love, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could see Gwen Stacy and just, fall in love, man. Like, it is primed for this movie to set up so much stuff. Like, we get a Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen. We get, like, there's so much that they can do. And it does, realistically, it sets them up to pass the torch to somebody else, being Miles Morales, and them not even doing movies that have Tom Holland anymore, or them not even focusing on Peter Parker anymore. They can go in so many different directions. KB says, I know they're breaking bread with Sony, but he has the potential to take Downey Jr. Evans' place in the MCU. Oof. I mean, I don't know who else does. I don't know. Listen, I don't know who else does, because I don't think it's Anthony Mackie.
I think he has leadership capabilities, but I don't think they'll end up making him, the guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if there will be the guy anymore. I'd like right now, the way the MCU is fracturing, it's going in so many different directions that it's a lot more like comic books right now, where there just is stuff happening. And so yes, they're tied together because they know each other.
That might be one of the stories going forward. Like you saw in the Eternal trailer, like who's going to replace, them or whatever. It's like, I will. But maybe that's something everybody might be thinking of. And at some point down the road, when the next Avengers movies happen or whatever, they'll make a decision of who would.
I don't even think they'll make a decision. It's just one of those things that's going to organically grow. I think that would be the idea, is to kind of see which one of these characters will actually grow alongside of, with the potential of being that person that eventually, all the characters come together. You know what? It's got to be such and such. Like, it would be kind of cool to see it work out that way versus just, oh, you're the leader.
Now, yeah, I don't think it would be that way, because I don't think they ever did that in the first place. Like, we just talked like last week about whether or not Iron Man was the leader of the Avengers or was it Cap. And the fact that we all look at it like, come on, man, Cap's in charge. But is that how the general public in the MCU universe saw it? Right? Because Tony is who they all know. He's already famous and already rich, and he was the first one to admit, like, yeah, I am Iron Man. Like, right at the end of the first movie, like, all of that kind of stuff is there are shades to all of that, right? And realistically, Ant-Man could be the leader of the next run. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be that Paul Rudd's Ant-Man is showing Cassie how to really use and do things with her power, whatever. At, Haley Steinfeld as Hawkeye and as Kate Bishop, whatever Hawkeye, he comes in, okay, somebody who's in there who isn't necessarily representing you expect or think should be a leader. But somehow there's this know-how. It could be Hank Pym. Like, it could be older, like, Mike Willis, kind of behind the scenes, kind of doing things to try to make work. So to speak. They can do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, I think Gage just outed MCU's whole plan just there because
Wayne Tech, Wayne Tech was all over that one. Facts. See, that's Wayne Tech, ladies and gentlemen. At the start of the show, that was not.
My man was getting too close to the truth.
Yeah. Fergie back there, like, hit the button. Feige,
like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah. No, it's not just single.
It's on my end.
Yeah.
Definitely on my end.
Hold on.
I'm gonna bounce out.
All right, bounce out and bounce back in, but nah, definitely.
What up, Perp?
But definitely, as far as Spider-Man, Tom Holland, like him signing on, like I think I feel like it should be a no-brainer. But you know how some actors are like, I don't want to be defined by the one role. I want to be able to. But I think Tom Holland has definitely stepped out of the box already. It's still being Spider-Man. So I definitely think he still signs back in, and then maybe somehow he's able to do these like one-off type of movies. Hopefully, Uncharted does pan out and is pretty good. I would hate that my man becomes Nathan Drake and then that thing ends up becoming garbage.
Well, it's a video game movie, so you gotta.
We already have.
Yeah. Let's just wait for the trailer and see how we feel with that when that comes. But I think it's a lot of money to be made if he sticks on for a little while longer with Spider-Man. Because I get you probably don't want to. Well, I mean, Chris Hemsworth has said that, hey, I will rock, Thor as long as y'all want me to. Yeah. Pretty much. There was another actor that said that too recently. I can't think. Somebody else at MCU that said the same thing.
I think Anthony Mackie may have said that. It may have been him. No, it was Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah. It was like, I'll be Winter Soldier as long as they will want me for.
Okay,
Chris Pratt.
Yes,
Chris Pratt did it.
So, I mean, maybe he follows, that line of thinking, or maybe not. I hope he does stick around for a little while longer, though. Especially seeing that. That's what's up, Marcus.
Appreciate that, Marcus. Appreciate that.
What's up? Yeah, put that on the screen. Yeah.
But definitely, I would hope with some of them. Obviously, Tony Stark and Cap have probably run their courses, but I hope some of them decide to hold on until maybe eventually down the road, if they do some type of, super gigantic ensemble type thing at one point again, and they're bringing people back, just to have those, even if it's like flashback type cameos. Yeah, somebody using up all the Wi-Fi. Yep. As soon as they walk in, it's a wrap.
That's Edie over there in Fortnite. That's
how they know everybody. Hey, she's putting in that work, so she eating up all.
No, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. Nah, she got that.
Facts, Heather. You know what's happening over here. What you were saying, jokes.
But yeah. Oh no, but definitely.
I just saw Restream say yes. I was like, did Restream just say that to us?
Yes.
Hey, that'd be dope. Hey, if Restream come in, hey, what's up, Restream? But nah, just if some point down the road, if some don't necessarily sign on to do, extra all those movies, but maybe they're like, hey, I got one more in me, and they can do some type of reunion type thing to bring them back. I'm sure there's something like that in the plans for certain characters, in case they ever decided to hop off the train. But recasting certain role, a lot of the MCU roles are just going to be. It's not going to be impossible, but it's just the fact of if people are going to welcome these characters with open arms. Like obviously they got shoes to fill, but it's one of those things where are the fans going to be acceptable if that ever had to happen? What's his name? Rhodey wasn't in enough of them to anyone to really miss Terrence Howard. So.
Hey, dog, nobody should miss Terrence Howard anyway.
Why, man? What?
Come on,
exactly, bro. Exactly. Terrence Howard can go be in the Fast and Furious movie for all I care, dog.
Nah, he can stay his ass away from that.
Let me get low.
He can leave my squad alone.
He can hustle and flow his ass right into a Fast and Furious.
I need y'all help, man. It involves family, man.
Skinny man.
Yeah, I'm not with it. Listen, check this out. So Seth Rogen tweeted today that come on, skinny man.
Come on, skinny man.
Seth Rogen tweeted this out today, right? This drawing. He announced in 2020 that he was working on a reboot CG animated TMNT movie. And if you looked in the upper corner there, you can see that it's supposed to drop August
2023.
11th of 2023. So I have a question. First of all, do you care about this reboot?
Nope.
I'm intrigued, interested.
In what way? Like, what's intriguing about it?
A reboot.
Just the fact that it's a reboot is enough for you.
I'm cool with the reboot. Like, I don't know if it's been long. I guess it's been long enough to have a reboot. Like, I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. So
Are you?
I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. So
you should talk to Jimmy.
So I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, like I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. So I'm intrigued to see what he would bring to the table for it. Like, I know he's a writer and he does these type of things. I think a lot of people don't realize that as many comedy movies and things that he's been in, he's had a hand.
Time out, Marcus. All right.
He's had a hand in a lot of those that he's done. So I don't put down his writing skills. So this is just something that was kind of left field. So I'm really intrigued to see what he can do with the Ninja Turtles franchise. I mean, when you hear a name like,
why? I think it's just because it's Seth Rogen. You just want to see.
It's because of Seth Rogen, and to see what he's either going to do a great job or he's going to destroy it. Like, and that's what it's going to come down to. I've enjoyed all of Seth Rogen's comedies, honestly, that have come out. Like, as much as people think they're stupid humor, like I enjoy
stupid humor.
I like stupid humor.
They're stupid humor. That's I mean I like Airplane, Naked Gun. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid humor definitely has a place. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't be a menace. Mm-hmm. There's a place for stupid humor. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not poo-pooing that, but let's see. Jimmy says the problem with him is he does comedic roles while not being funny in any way.
I don't know about that, man. I
don't know if I can go with that.
Yeah,
I've had plenty of chuckles.
Chuckles isn't like a hearty ha-ha laugh, though. I mean, here's the thing. Seth Rogen, for me personally, like, I don't care one way or the other. It doesn't really, like, there's nothing about Seth Rogen being in a film or doing a thing that makes me be like, oh my goodness, I got to see it because Seth Rogen is doing it. The idea of Seth Rogen putting his paws on Ninja Turtles feels wrong to me. But I think it's because, for me personally, like, listen, this is with Paramount and Nickelodeon. So I understand that they have to do what they can with Ninja Turtles to maintain the young, youthful Nickelodeon audience. You know what I mean? Like, there should always be Ninja Turtles for the kids. I get that. It's just not what I want.
I can agree with that.
I want a dark, gritty, anime-styled fighting, cutting. I want a black and white comic book. We all wear red bandanas. Ninja Turtles animated flip. You know what I mean? I don't even, like, it can be 45 minutes. That's it. I'm good. You know what I mean? Just give me the action, give me the fighting, give me the cursing, give me the violence. You know what I mean? Like, these are not the teenage part of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should not necessarily overshadow the fact that these are New York teenagers. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you go back and you read those original comic books, like their mouths are, they talk that talk.
Right.
Nah, Marcus. I mean? It's not gonna happen, Marcus.
They're New Yorkers.
Yeah.
They're teenagers, and teenagers already have, many teenagers already have this, like, especially teenage boys, I'm invincible kind of thing going on. These aren't teenage boys in a karate class who've been taking taekwondo for 4 or 5 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. These are straight up ninjas. Like, these guys can disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for moments in a movie that are very much like the very first live action movie where Shredder was just straight up gonna kill one of them and made them throw their weapons down and was like, y'all stupid because y'all might have beat me. Y'all might have overpowered me eventually and you would only lost one person. Now I'm gonna kill all of y'all. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like I want that. I don't want Krang. I appreciated it for what it was. It was cool, but I need that. You're right, Marcus. Teenagers with attitude. Like it's a real thing. I can't, man. It's hard. Jimmy's having a field day out here getting on Rogan though right now.
Yeah.
There's some things that I agree with. He can't do anything without support on his own. Zidane might be going a little far, but he makes the best of the movies. He just stay in his lane, and I don't have a problem with that either. Like realistically, though, Michelangelo's a stoner.
Oh, I know you did, Marcus.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I want a Dark Power Rangers movie like from the YouTube, but that one,
but that's what I say. That's not gonna happen.
That was fire.
Definitely not happening.
The only like as long as it's it's technically not on Nickelodeon anymore. It's Netflix. So I already know what you did, but the things on YouTube are gonna be the closest thing
on Tyler Perry on any of my screens. Like my personal screens can't have Tyler Perry.
You can kick him out of the comments for that one.
Yeah. We don't.
But Marcus, as long as Bat in the Sun is in existence, that's where we're going to get this from. We'll see what Legend of the White Dragon does. We know it's not a Power Ranger thing, but it uses the elements. But Bat in the Sun will be the closest thing as long as they're in existence.
Really can't make them any worse than the other movies. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. The first Michael Bay joint is actually pretty good. The first two. The first three live action joints, the Jim Henson joints, are pretty solid. Take it easy, Jimmy. Listen, TMNT, the completely CG animated joint, fire. That joint is fire. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you do that. If Seth Rogen does anything that even comes close to feeling like it's a sequel to that, I'm on board. If this is just about Seth Rogen's money, okay. If it is about his writing and or his comedy, no, sir. I don't want him to touch it. I want him to get out of the way. That's how I feel about it. And look, I won't know for sure till I see it.
Yep, that's the facts.
Which is, it is what it is. Come on, Doc. What's terrible? I know you're not saying that first Michael Bay joint terrible. That joint got.
I know better than I thought it was going to be. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah, like that joint actually. Listen, the worst thing about that is Megan Fox, which is probably the worst thing about almost
anything.
This shit. You know what I mean? That's not the Turtles' fault. We're not gonna hold them to that.
Here we go with late Ty.
Hey,
with his hard hitting opinions.
Turtles in Time was the best. You talking about the arcade game?
I was about to say that.
You can't be talking about that third joint where they went to Japan, dog. That joint, listen, the fighting is probably better in that than it is in the rest of them. I think they just kind of gotten things down to a better science as far as like the suits and the weight of the suits and moving in them and how to shoot them and film them or whatever. But in terms of a story, like, nah, dog. Let's just leave that alone. I'm at Slim. Yes, elevator scene was fire. All the live action movies were terrible. You know what, Doc? If I could put you in timeout, that is where you would be right now. I would wager if you sit down and watch the very first Ninja Turtles joint with your child, you will find out how that joint is almost perfect. It's almost perfect. There are so many quotes from that joint. Watch this.
Oh,
cricket.
You gotta understand crumpet. You understand cricket.
Nobody understands cricket. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. No.
He got his ass rocked.
Wise man say never pay full price for late pizza. Like that joint is a classic. Real talk. Now listen. Now we got to switch my man over from Tardy Ty to Liar Ty.
Big facts.
I've been here since the start. Since the start of what? Since the start of life?
These nuts.
Oh man. How you say that? And then did you remix the Tequila Wasn't Fire? Hey, listen. Real talk. Dog just straight stole Pee Wee Herman's whole act. Crushed that joint down in like 40 seconds. Did the pizza dance. Yeah, that joint was cool. And I'm gonna tell you what was dope about it was the way they actually put emphasis on the Foot and the Foot Clan and like what was going on, them stealing things in the city. Like that joint was kind of dark. It was like gritty New York, stuff disappearing. You're actually seeing like stuff just disappear quick. Like a dude fill a joint up with a TV, put a heavy TV on a joint, turn, and when he turned back, everything in the truck gone. Damn. Okay, Foot Clan going like that. And they all garbage. For real. It took like 40 of them to beat Raphael. They was whooping Slim X on that roof. No. Hey, listen, they beat my man almost to death in that joint. That joint goes hard, bro. Like, my man was in a coma for like 2 weeks in a bathtub. Slim.
Yikes. Oh.
That joint was pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? Splinter got captured. We didn't know what was going to happen. That joint he was following, yo. What? Yeah.
Robbing in the trench coat?
Hey, listen, robbing the trench coat.
Thought he going to the movies and no one.
A toy right now with Rob in the trench coat doing the Humphrey Bogart joint. It's over. It's over. We all buying that joint, dog. Yeah. That joint, I'm with it. 100%. That joint is tough. We got a little bit of time left. So it's time for a curveball.
I kind of felt this one coming.
Only because I gave you like a slight warning.
Well, it didn't seem like it was going to be a curveball. You just said you was going to have us put our thinking caps on out here.
Are you ready for this?
Nope.
Everybody in the chat, get ready. Here it goes. Here's what we're doing. We are building the next X-Men movie. Okay. Hey, look, Marcus, like I'm almost free.
Hey. Still be easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Worst CPR medical treatment ever. You right, Doctor Who, but that doesn't really matter. It's Turtles, man. Like we don't, you know. Okay. We are building the next X-Men movie, and here's what I need. I need each of you to give me a list. Okay. What characters are going to be in this movie? Who are our X-Men? And there's a caveat. You may only use one. Sin, listen to me. Sin.
Hey, really?
No cheating, dog.
What's all this for?
Wait,
no
Gambit and Rogue are things, so they should be considered as one.
One character that has appeared as a main line character in any of the previously released X-Men films. None of them. Deadpool doesn't count. New Mutants does. When I say main character, not somebody who just walked past the screen, nobody said anything to them, and you're just like, oh, that look like so-and-so. Not talking about that. Anybody who, let's as an example, Bishop is off the table. Because Bishop was technically a main character in one of the films, as was like Blink, as was like they were integral to something that happened in the story. Yeah. So Marcus, listen, Gambit is not. Listen, you realize that the Wolverine movies count as X-Men movies, right? So Gambit is already off the table, and so is Nightcrawler. Heather, I like where this is going. Heather says, Dazzler. Proper Storm, I mean, listen, what does Proper Storm mean? Because Storm's in like 5 movies. When they say Croy, I'm down with. Listen, Marcus, yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's the same guy from the same universe. Think about it. That Wolverine movie is called X-Men Origins Wolverine. True. That joint, his joints count as their X-Men movies. They are. That takes X-23 off the table. It's gonna get tricky. I see Sam putting a list together, thinking things down.
I'm trying.
I
No,
know.
I'm
Tough,
It's
isn't it?
not being able only being able to use, you can only use one from
You only use one that has been in a previously released film. But here's the thing. So like again, so like Gambit's not off the table, but you can't have Gambit and Nightcrawler. You see what I'm saying? Like you can have Nightcrawler or you can have Gambit, but you can't have both.
Right.
She said Storm. Storm has been in one. That's cool. That's 3 people, which is going to be a little tough to make a whole movie with just 3, but I'm okay. But you need a minimum of 3. You need a minimum of 3.
Man.
Now, here's what I'll say. It doesn't have to be somebody who, it just has to be a mutant. It doesn't have to be, it could be, again, X-Men, X-Force, Excalibur.
Anyone
any of that. Okay, so Psylocke has been in a movie. She's been in one, so she can be your one. Anybody else that you choose for this
Rogue
team?
is my one. Rogue is my one.
Okay, Rogue is your one.
You had to get one of them.
Got it. Had to be either Rogue or Gambit, right?
Yeah, Rogue would be my one from the franchise.
Okay.
I would use my one. I would be Wolverine for my one.
Okay, that's cliche, but I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret said Gambit and Jubilee. So just Gambit and Jubilee, like that's your whole film is Gambit and Jubilee. I would love for you to write the synopsis for that. Give me like 2 paragraphs of the Gambit and Jubilee film, straight up. I'm down though. I like that. I like that. It's tough, isn't it? You having a hard time?
It is.
One of the others, maybe.
Polaris.
We haven't seen Forge.
He was phenomenal in that show. What the heck is the name of that show?
The Gifted.
The Gifted, man. That show, man, that joint was fire, bro. They did that joint wrong.
I would throw Polaris on the team, definitely.
Okay. So right now we have Rogue and Polaris for you, Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I said Forge. Be an interesting one, definitely tech wise and everything. I think that would be an interesting person to have with the team. 3, I'm trying to.
God, said future past Bishop was terrible. Was he terrible? Was he in there long enough to be terrible?
I don't think he was terrible. I mean, I just don't think we got to see enough of him, and can't really make a definitive off of it. So,
listen, I'm not saying it can't be a move. Brooks, because a Gambit and Jubilee could be dope. It could really be very dope in combination.
Because they could play off of each other. That's a definite. Yeah.
She always gets stuck being a character who's being shown the ropes or whatever. Like, technically, Jubilee was X-Men 92's Kitty Pryde. You know what I mean? From like the 84. Iceman. Straight up, Ty. I could be real with you right now. I'd have a hard time choosing between Iceman and Colossus. But if I had to pick between the two, it's Iceman. He would easily be in a squad for me because nobody else could beat him. He's like their most powerful character. They could be looking for Kitty Pryde while searching for Wolverine's corpse. Yikes. Bishop and Luke Cage. No man said I'm bringing in Cage. I'm with that. Bring him in.
This would be weird. Are we taking villains off the table necessarily?
Nope. Cause like think about it, like Magneto is an X-Men member. Like there certainly been.
I mean, team ups and things that are like. Obviously, when Apocalypse came, it was
listen, like if you felt like you could write the story, you know what I'm saying, and make it make sense that they're in the joint, that is what it is. I said from a movie or show. I didn't say show. You can only pull one character. I don't care if they've been in the show. Deadpool does not count. Deadpool as a character counts because he's in X-Men Origins Wolverine. But like other characters that have been in the Deadpool movies, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I guess technically it does all run together. But his movies don't actually. Nothing he's ever been in actually had the X-Men title in it. They did have X-Force, but it didn't have an X-Men title. It wasn't like X-Men something. Though I guess not. I mean, I would say he's off the table. But shows it could be whatever. Like for real, I would put Legion, Iceman and Legion. Although actually, you know what? Technically, Legion was in the first X-Men movie, second X-Men movie.
Dog, this the only other person I would throw in, honestly, just because I want to see him on screen.
Right. I got it.
Honestly, it would be Mr. Sinister. Like the fact of having him team up with Wolverine clearly to me would indicate that there is something very, very wrong in the world, because these are two people that you would never ever see collaborate together at any point. Obviously, there's some twist at the end. At least I would say there's some twist at the end. Obviously, he probably double crosses, triple crosses, whatnot ever. But I would say Mr. Sinister just for the fact that I want to actually have him live action on screen.
So you can't. Okay, so Mr. Sinister and Wolverine, and that's two people. That's where we are.
So wait, you're see, I thought you said just the movies like that. Okay, damn it.
Nah, I'm saying like
you're building a team.
Like, you gotta, it's for it to be a team. Like
you're building a team.
A minimum of 3, bro.
I'm trying to get to 3.
Okay, I got something.
All right, walk me down. Let me see how many. Let me see if he's cheating.
I got Rogue. Like I said, I'm picking Rogue from that to start off. Then I said Polaris.
Right.
Marrow.
Right. I'm with it.
Who's the other? Banshee.
Banshee's in one of the movies.
That doesn't count.
Banshee's
Forge is what Joke said, but that's cool. You can use Forge. Okay. I don't think Forge is in anything. I don't recall Forge in anything.
Forge is
I wanted somebody tech wise, that can. Okay, so I gotta find somebody who plays Banshee. Okay.
Yeah. Banshee was one of the main characters in First Class.
You're right. You're right. Damn. I got to find a replacement for Banshee. I might go with you as a.
So far, pretty solid though. Morrow was somebody I looked at as a possibility. I think could be really dope. That I don't think is enough play and is nasty. And they basically used Morrow to be Spike's character in the X-Men Evolution cartoon.
Yeah.
But then made him like related to Storm or whatever.
Right.
Pixie. Lisa Bonet's daughter was Pixie, the one that can spit fire. I mean, if you use her again, she's in a movie, so that will be the one character you can use that's been in another movie. So, Gambit, Jubilee, Firestar. I like
that.
I like it. Gambit, Jubilee, Firestar.
Y'all trying to cut me off at the ankles.
Yeah.
Another one that's
I might got somebody.
I think I got one that hasn't been introduced. Mimic could be one. Like that may be the one I would actually swap out, obviously for Dr. Sinister. So just for the fact that he's stolen the abilities of at least the main core ones, and he retained all their abilities. So that could create an interesting.
I mean, there's characters out there. I like where you going with that, right? There's Boom Boom, Long Shot, Feral. I mean, they all like X-Force characters. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of characters. I just think, realistically, for me, I would love to see a movie that is set for X-Men in that universe, but doesn't pull from the same old tropes we always see over and over again, right? I don't want to see another origin story. I don't want us going through the whole thing with the school again. It just feels so overdone.
I'm leaning to maybe Gladiator.
Okay.
Not sold, but that's where I'm leaving to kind of round out my 5-man squad.
Slim is hard. Slim is hard.
Yeah.
What was
I might leave it at that for now unless I see something else. But
Buddy seems to agree with you, jokes that he always wanted a live action Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, like I want it. It's just it's got to be done right. Like that, I would be so upset if they bring Mr. Sinister in and just absolutely ruin.
You almost can't do Mr. Sinister without doing Cyclops and or Hack because nobody can stop them except them, basically.
So maybe I do the switch, just say Cyclops instead of Wolverine. I know you ain't gonna like that, Sim, but
hey, it's your team.
The idea of Cyclops and Sinister teaming up is definitely disgusting. Like, yeah. The two of them being,
that's the end of the world type stuff that they gotta some double crossing. But what was dude's name that was, I don't know if that was that Magneto's son, the one that had like it was like the Magneto armor, but it looked more like the Juggernaut.
Oh, you talking about Onslaught?
Yeah. Onslaught.
Hey, dog, no. Yeah. Onslaught is a combination
of Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah.
Who have both been in franchises.
So it's a combination. So technically it doesn't exist. It's like a fusion. Like the Gogeta and Vegito are separate characters.
Emma Frost and Magneto were both separate characters
because he can't exist without the two of them, right? Like, I don't think that's how that works. Well, I mean,
I thought about Omega Red too.
Technically, Magneto was dead when Onslaught happened. That was a result of Professor X,
right,
just turning off Magneto's brain after he pulled all the adamantium out of Wolverine's body. When it was just like, oh yeah, he about to kill us. So I guess I better do something about this. You know what I mean? Like, it got a little disgusting. Emma Frost, Magneto, and I don't know a third. Okay.
I know.
But here's the thing.
They're both in first class.
And Magneto are both in movies.
Because I was gonna pick Emma Frost. Like, Kate, she was in the movie. Like, can't have her on the squad.
Yep. She was in first class. Yeah. Juggernaut's in the movie.
The movie can't do that.
I'm not gonna lie. This was a good tricky one.
I got.
It makes you go into the Rolodex. You gotta go into the extra Rolodex.
I had Legion, Longshot, and Dazzler.
Okay.
As like a starting three for me, and that was like, again, like Legion. They don't ever say it, but Legion is Professor X's son, and technically he was in the movie. He was sitting in a wheelchair with the two different color eyes or whatever. So it's like, I'm just, but that he would end up being. If anything, I would remove Legion and put Iceman in that place, just because, again, that's my guy. But Iceman, Longshot, Dazzler, I think is dope. I think having somebody young like a Jubilee on that team could also be dope, and I think having a big dude, I put Strong Guy in.
I thought about him.
You know what I mean? Because you can't use Blob.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? You can't, like, it's tough though. It's
she's
tough.
not a mutant though. Is she a mutant?
Listen, I hear you, KB, but here's the thing. I think it's hard just to pick any character. Like, for real, if you look at the X-Men as a whole, none of their powers really mesh. Nothing they do really meshes or makes sense. So when you talk about them being together and like why they would be, it's not like Wolverine and Cyclops' abilities complement one another. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, Storm works on any team. Just, you know what I'm saying? The powers she has. Legion did have a show, but we didn't say anybody who couldn't have who was in a show,
right?
Because that would take Polaris out of the running for
me. Yeah,
she was a dope main character. In man, I need to watch that joint again. Was there a Dazzler and X-Men Dark Phoenix?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to think about that. I didn't think there was really nobody different.
I'm cool with that. If there was a Dazzler in that joint, she can get out. I'm okay with that.
You still got Warpath on the table jokes.
Yep.
Who else?
Like I said, you got characters like Pharaoh. You know, Cannonball. I would take off the table. Well, like I said, Longshot.
Multiple Man
is a solid jump. Multiple definitely a joint.
Do we throw Morph on the team?
I mean,
Morph's abilities can definitely come in handy.
He fluke though. Morph is fluke, bro. It's no two ways about that. I don't really care how you know what I mean. Morph is fluke.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah, Dazzler. Didn't see her dance or dazzle, but that's cool. Emma Frost, Polaris, Scarlet Witch.
Does that count since she's technically hasn't been in any of the X-Men movies?
Scarlet Witch ain't been in no X-Men movies.
Yeah, so that can work.
Basically, Basically,
I thought about quick
and both Magneto's daughters. Like that's pretty damn solid. Like I wouldn't bother them. I would
leave them alone.
I would leave them so alone. I just want a Generation X movie. Then I'm tapped out on mutant lore. I'm cool with that.
I enjoy Generation X. Like that.
So did I.
Totally cool with that. You know what's funny is that
Spike. There's a random one you could throw.
Again, I just brought Spike up because again, Spike got used basically Marrow. They gave
yeah.
But I used to run with Marrow on Marvel's Capcom 2.
I will tell you who would be dope though would be Quake. She is a mutant, but they basically claim that technically she was on a show. She's never been in a movie though. She certainly wasn't an X-Men. So Quake, I think, would be solid.
It's a good one.
You got
sound like step Magneto down, yeah.
You got Maggot as another character.
Yeah. Quake is solid. Hey, I think we should think this through and come up with a new solid team. I think we need to do this and just make a list. I think we'll put a thing out. I'm gonna do a new post about. I think my top 5 villains has changed over like the last 2 years, and it's been a little while since I posted that. So I think it's time for a new top 5 villains. So I'm gonna be posting that, and I'm gonna be looking for people's responses. I think I want to read them. We can't do it next week. Next week's show,
some time to cook.
Will be a special show. We're doing a panel. We're gonna have some guests on with us to do a Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel. This is going to be something that we're pre-recording and will be shown again on the Saturday in a couple weeks for virtual Comic-Con. So just want y'all to be looking out for that. So the 19th, that'll be hitting. Why don't you snap your fingers, Sam? What you figure out?
Nah, we need to put it on the screen, the virtual Comic-Con. I just like, hey, that's all.
Yeah. So next week, Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel. So again, we'll want all of you all here in the chat. We want you all to participate in that with us. We think it's going to be a great discussion.
Absolutely.
We have some really great guests coming on to join us. So please make sure y'all tune in next week. It'll be at the regular 8:30 time. On instead of doing weekly, technically loading text panel next week. Expect that to run long, probably somewhere in the 2 hour, possibly more range, but expect that to run long. We will be back on Thursday with cutscenes to talk video games. We're like a week and a couple days out from E3. So there's a lot happening, a lot of news that's hitting the circuit. So there'll be a lot to talk about on Thursday. In about a month and a half, Sin is going to be heading up a new discussion in anime chat. Yes. If you're not already a member of anime chat and you like anime, if you watch anime, if you know people who are interested in it, please share that with them. They should join the LS anime chat group. You guys are going to be talking sports anime movies, right?
Yeah. Yes, because the Olympics are in Japan this year, so we decided to highlight some of the sports that would be in the Olympics. Basketball, we're covering swimming, boxing, cycling, and volleyball, like Haikyuu, Hajime no Ippo, Free, Yoshimui's Pedal, and Kuroko's Basketball. We're going to be talking about those shows, and I don't know if a lot of people don't realize. I don't think people realize, I would say, that are into anime, that's a very popular genre.
No doubt.
Of it. Like, sports is really, really big, and I can see how somebody will look at it and be like, I want to watch an anime about basketball, but that sounds stupid. Like, nah, these things are like Hajime no Ippo is one of the most like treasured animes of like all time. Like across the board. Like, these are like really, really well thought out good shows. So it's gonna be fun to sit down and discuss them with everybody and just have a little fun with it.
Cool. That is July 17th. So that is during the same weekend as BlurCon. So that's coming up again. That's about a month and a half out. Again, we have a pretty packed calendar. We've got stuff going on through like the beginning of February right now. So the fact that we are going to kind of be now able to be out and about and talking with people at conventions and things like that. We're looking forward to having interviews and things like that that are actually out and with crowds. Though we did shoot several interviews that will also be airing going into virtual Comic-Con. I'll be making sure to highlight those in the next few weeks as we get closer to them. And some of the folks who are doing those shows, doing those interviews with us. So I think that'll be cool. We have some new plans coming for what we're doing with Patreon. Speaking of which,
don't worry, Marcus. We're gonna have that discussion, Marcus. Don't worry.
You got a job to do.
That's right. So let's go ahead and shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, and Late Ty, also known as Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Liar Ty.
Swelling Ty.
You need a Y2J.
Ew. So yeah, we're looking at adding some additional tiers to Patreon. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. We did shoot the discussion question for Patreon members for last month. That will go live this evening, right, Jokes?
Yes, sir.
So that'll be there for them to watch. Sam, what did we discuss?
We're discussing what fictional character would you have by your side through the apocalypse, the zombie apocalypse.
The zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
It's a pretty solid discussion.
Yeah.
If you would like to see it,
yeah,
you got to be in that Patreon.
I think we all had some good ones, but that one that was brought up kind of knocked it out the park.
What can I say, bro? What can I say?
Yeah.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You got a job to do.
Yep.
I'm gonna let him do that. Y'all already know the deal. Linktree is up. Besides having that Linktree link for you all to hit, again, that's just the easiest way to go and follow us. You all make sure you follow each other. I'm pretty sure you guys see in the chat Immortal Fire Art. If you're not aware, that is Henry Brooks, who is in the chat as Henry Brooks. So make sure you're following Immortal Fire Art, please. You all again go and support each other and so forth. Hey, Marcus,
you mean that? Come on, we got this, man. We're ready.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Marcus want to be. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna just relax for the rest of the show and let Marcus have it. He's on top of things. That's what I'm talking about. Look. He's in BE like I'm here for this. What? Hold on, Ty. Superman.
Ooh, wait.
I wish I could throw him in. I wish I could throw him in the timeout now so bad.
You know what? Hey, listen. Hey, you know what, Ty? You might be right. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody's watching it but you.
I'm actually watching it.
No, you're not. You ain't said a word.
I have, because I told you, because I told Cindy he would enjoy watching it because Superman damn near gets his ass kicked in every single episode.
I mean, isn't that what it should be like? Yes, J. Robert Dean.
Hey,
you are now Late Ty.
Finally, I was waiting for you to pop up.
I said Diggle directed it last week, and it was
so I can tell you thanks for the good old things, J. Robert over there.
Yeah,
I haven't opened them yet. I was waiting for you to show up, but
yeah, we said you had to actually do the activities on the back of it during the show.
Yeah, we want you to color that stuff. We got crayons for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off a little jokes.
I can do that.
Marcus, I don't know if you mean that as a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not helping me watch it.
It's definitely not helping Sin. But I'm with it. I liked the first 2 episodes, and I absolutely believe you, Ty. I believe you're that serious. I wasn't making fun of you. I wasn't saying I didn't think that you were serious. In fact, I know you're serious because we can always count on Captain Saber DC.
You can always count on.
Even if he shows up late, he always right on time with the DC savings.
That's right.
Straight up. My man be looking like the little honey joint dancing in the corner with them DC savings for you. Let me save y'all some DC. He said that reveal wasn't the best last week. So listen, now we're trying to get into spoiler boy stuff.
Right. Is that what you want, Ty?
Hey, J. Robert Deans, it is perfectly okay for you to be thrown off by the holiday. Everybody's thrown off a little bit by the holiday.
It threw me a little bit.
Marcus said it's not on HBO Max anymore, so I'm not watching after the second to last episode. Interesting.
Well, just download the CW app. That joint is free. And
I tell you what, why don't you watch it on this?
Wham!
Since that is apparently the new logo. Hey, dog, that's what y'all.
Wait, that's legit?
Yes.
This was posted. This was what was sent in the press kit.
Oh, okay.
Warner Bros. Discovery. That's right, Marcus. I don't understand. Hey, I appreciate that. Sales are going pretty well, actually. We were just looking at that before the show went live. Sales are going pretty well. Really, really happy that y'all are showing us some love in the Spreadshirt shop. Happy to see y'all picking out whatever y'all want. I'm seeing hats and shirts and hoodies, cell phone cases. I'm seeing the Pride logo. I'm seeing, I really dig it. Yeah, well, even though you were kidding about it,
they weren't.
Wow, my dreams are rated MA. That's mild though. Like for us, if it ain't, what's the second worst film that what's the name of it? Was it Triple X? That joint's terrible. I mean, then it's all the rest of the Fast and Furious joints.
Man, no.
And then, nah, dog, because his best, easily his best movie is.
You're in timeout. So it looks like they.
Welcome back. It's all yours.
I was about to shut it down, but well, they're both in timeout.
So. Woo! Yeah, man.
Hey, Marcus, you really pushing your damn luck.
Marcus says so. The fleece hoodies are nice and so are the caps, but no straw hats. And you're right. Listen, we're working on some other things, man. I'm working on putting some spoiler boys logos on some things and making some stuff happen and doing a weekly join and some other things. We didn't want to overwhelm it. So right now there's only 4 points to pick from. You know, the kanji design for Loading Snacks logo, the base Loading Snacks logo, and 2 different variations of the Pride logo. So y'all just, have at it. But we're open to ideas. Y'all let us know what y'all want. We're talking to some people, putting some things together. I've been on the phone with some artists. Hey, did y'all see that video? My man posted and was like, if you ask a child, like if you ask a kid right now to like pretend they on the phone and like see what they do.
Disgusting. Disgusting. I saw that. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hey, dog. Ask a child, like, hey, pretend you calling your friend and use your hand to pretend you calling your friend, and they all do this.
You say.
Yep.
They all do this, and I was like, ew, because we all do this. But these little bammers never had a phone. Like they never had a joint.
Like I was sitting there watching Ebo today. And the phone rang, and for some reason, I just didn't even click on it. He went over to answer it, and they had his little rotary joint. I was like, this is like, it just hit me, okay.
Hey, listen, let me respond to this real quick. Listen, my guy, Mr. Marcus, here's the thing. I don't have complete control over the things that they offer, just uploading the logos and designs, and then they have like different things you can put those on. The closest thing to a bandana, I'm pretty sure, is like a thing for a dog, which nobody will know if you don't tell them.
Hey, you just tie it and
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen, Brooks, they don't know, bro. Like they don't know what this means. Like I guess it's just hang loose. Like they don't know. Like they don't
hang loose.
They don't know what this means. They all do this. because it's the
That's
most
the only
awful.
phone
Looking, it
smart.
don't even feel right to me, bro. Like I don't.
Ew. Hello.
It
Hello.
don't.
Like
It don't. It
no.
feels so bad.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Cuddy, ask. I haven't asked Edia yet. I'm scared to ask Zaina. I should ask Zaina. I should ask. I mean, she has used like a home phone.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But like 20, she's 22, so she's had a cell phone since she was like 8. She had a flip joint. So they just do like this. Like this how you pretend you talking on the phone. I don't know. It's disgusting. Yeah, you almost the oldest person in the world right now, but J. Robert Dean's jumped in the chat. I think he got you beat. Although I have a phone, I could bring it next week. I got a phone that has a rotary and stands straight up, and you hang it up by putting it straight down
on there
on its base. Yeah.
Pretty sure I threw out that one that we had a long time ago. I don't want to like bulk trash.
Yeah, dog, that's trifling. You shouldn't have done that, man. That's a piece of history right there, bro. Should have held on to that history.
Yep.
Yeah, straight up. Okay, yeah, if you mess up, yo, you gotta dial all over again. You gotta hang up,
hang up and do that jump. Oh.
You can't backspace the digits, bro. That's not how that works. Nope. You know what I mean? Versus the 36 ones. 100%. That's what I have. I have like it's original joint. Like the actual outlet for plugging it in looks like it's a circle with like 4 prongs sticking out of it to plug in. That joint is old school. It was my grandmother's. Joint's dope. Hers was Snoopy and mine was OG Stickball.
Yeah, hey, closest thing I still had the Red Ranger phone. They had the Red Ranger standing up on it. And you had to pick it up and dial on the phone for it. That's probably the oldest one that I still have.
But you did this. That's
it wasn't rotary. But I'm just, no. I definitely had to use rotary phone in my grandmother's house. And
you know what? One last thing. Does anybody have one of those Snoopy water ice makers?
Oh gosh.
We might have to wrap. Because I might need it. I have one somewhere. I don't know where it is. Marcus, you got it? We're gonna talk. We might need
I think he talking about the Red Ranger phone. Was he put that?
Nah, he can't be talking about the Red Ranger phone.
I'm pretty sure he's
I'm pretty sure he's probably talking about the Red Ranger phone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Red Ranger phone.
Right. My man said he probably Heather the snow cone machine. Yeah, you got one?
Yeah, see, no,
I had one long gone. Nah, the phone. Man, I had this toy. It was Snoopy, and you could put a bowling ball in his hand and pull his hand back, and he would throw the joint to make him bowl. It came with little pins. Toys used to be great, man. That joint's pretty right. It used to be great. I have a phone that looks like a Rody, but the buttons are M&Ms. Oh yeah, Ty, you do what? You got a Snoopy snow cone, a Snoopy shaved ice snow cone joint? Ty, don't play with me.
I mean, he became
play with me.
Liar Ty today, so I don't know.
If you got it, I'm getting ready to invite you to something. But I'm gonna tell you it starts at 1 when it starts at 2. You ruined it with fun size. You put fun size Snickers in your snow cone maker.
Oh.
I almost don't even want to know. J. Robert Dean's had the bowl of Snoopy too. I had a thing that pitched T-ball like that too. It had a thing in his back. You could load the softballs up or whatever.
Hey.
Pull his arm back and he would chuck them joints.
They do have bandanas on the site.
Nah,
I'm looking at it right now.
They dog capes. don't let them play.
Them joints say bandanas. They don't say pet bandanas.
They dog capes, bro. They playing these.
I'm not a bandana guy.
Hey, Heather. They were icing. Hey, listen. You put the little Snickers mini joints.
Man, she ruined that joint.
Say, what? Why were you trying to shave them though? That's what I don't understand. Like, were you trying to add them to your snow cones? I say, I see. I know you got the Yoda plastic puppy. Y'all want me to get? I have the original scooter from the Muppet Show. That joint has the heaviest feet. The feet are made out of like rocks. It don't even make sense. Yeah. Hey, listen. I'm gonna let y'all know this, and then we getting out of here. You have it somewhere. You have to see what box it's in. Hey, Slim, find it and holler at me. You have my number. We need to talk. We are, as geeks and collectors, man. We have a lot of stuff. We got so much stuff. So we're planning a new little something called Loading Snack Show and Tell. We're just gonna start showing off some of the stuff we got. We're gonna be looking for y'all to start participating in some stuff like that, man. We got some plans. We got some plans. That's the most I can tell you right now. I just let the cat out of the bag.
Stacy's this week.
Like
the boys. I'm just waiting to get them Gwen Stacy's this week, B.
I know, dog. Hey, listen, Heather, they still for sale. Yeah, I don't want to buy one. I want somebody who has one. I don't want to buy one. I'm waiting. Yeah. So, listen, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us this evening. We're looking forward to seeing y'all again on Thursday evening. Y'all make sure y'all jump in. Lots of video game stuff to talk about. For myself, Gage, for Jokes, and for Sin, we are out. Toodles and Loos.